While narcissists may appear strong and confident on the surface, many people often spot chinks in their armor. If you've ever dealt with a narcissist, you may wonder if they are secretly weak and pathetic. In this video, we'll explore this question and examine the evidence for both sides. Are narcissists truly superior, as they so often claim? Or is it all just a mask, a carefully crafted facade, an armor developed to hide their insecurities? There is definitely evidence to suggest that narcissists are indeed weak and insecure underneath their confidence and bravado. For many of them, narcissism has developed as a defense mechanism to deal with severe trauma. Since they never address that trauma, they just carry around their pain with them everywhere they go. Since they can't cope with their pain alone, they also need to spread it to other people. All of that possibly makes them much weaker than they might appear. There are even some studies that suggest this. For example, research has shown that narcissists are much more likely to experience anxiety, depression, and other mental health problems than non-narcissists. They may even be as 3 times as likely to suffer those conditions, according to some studies. This suggests that they are not as mentally tough as they might like to appear. While they put on a brave face in public, narcissists often suffer terribly when left alone with their thoughts. Unless they are completely psychopathic, they sometimes get glimpses of the consequences their behavior has on other people. This can have a very negative effect on their worldview, as they are not used to reflection. Additionally, narcissists often struggle with intimacy and emotional connection. They may find it difficult to form deep, meaningful relationships with others. Instead, they may rely on superficial connections and attention-seeking behaviors to fill the void. In the long run, this leaves them hurt and unfulfilled. The more they treat others as casual objects for relationships, the more they treat themselves that way, too. This strongly suggests that they are emotionally vulnerable and may lack the ability to connect with others in a meaningful way. Furthermore, narcissists often display a fragile sense of self-esteem. While they may project an image of confidence and superiority, they are often highly sensitive to criticism and rejection. They may become defensive or aggressive when their sense of self is threatened. This suggests that they lack the resilience and inner strength that true confidence requires. Truly confident people own up to their mistakes, and often welcome constructive criticism, but narcissists do the opposite. It is not uncommon for them to even throw a fit or break down in tears when hit with well-pointed criticism. They may also start developing feelings of deep hatred towards people that criticize them. It sounds like it's not too pleasant being a narcissist, right? However, on the other hand, it is also possible to argue that narcissists are not inherently weak and pathetic. After all, they often display an impressive level of self-confidence and assertiveness, which suggests that they might have a strong sense of self-worth and belief in their abilities. Of course, the fake it till you make it phenomenon may occur as well. They may start developing something resembling true confidence simply by mimicking it for so long. Interestingly, some researchers argue that narcissism can be a useful trait in certain contexts. For example, in highly competitive environments, a strong sense of self-importance and an unwavering belief in one's abilities may be necessary for success. Also, unless they are completely delusional and consumed by their condition, narcissists may display good leadership qualities in some cases. Usually, this is not the case, as leadership often requires empathy, which narcissists lack. But in some cases, especially leadership roles that don't require a lot of empathy, narcissists may be good leaders. In this sense, narcissism may be seen as a strength rather than a weakness. While it is true that narcissists may struggle with emotional connection and intimacy, this may not necessarily be a sign of weakness. Rather, it may be a reflection of their prioritization of self-interest over the needs of others. Ultimately, the question of whether narcissists are secretly weak and pathetic is a complex one with no easy answers. While there is evidence to support both sides of the argument, it is important to remember that every individual is unique and cannot be reduced to a single label or trait. In conclusion, while narcissists may appear strong and confident on the surface, there is compelling evidence to suggest the contrary. They may be emotionally vulnerable and lack the resilience and inner strength that true confidence requires. However, it is also possible to argue that narcissism can be a useful trait in certain contexts and that it is not inherently weak or pathetic. As with all complex human traits, the reality of narcissism is likely more nuanced and varied than any simple label can capture.